No, no, no. We are worse than that. When I was a little boy, I heard a calypso song that was written by a Trinidadian, a Calypsonian, long time ago. Small island, go back where you come from. Small island, go back where you come from. You come by the 1 and the 2 and the 3. Now I find you up inside me breadfruit tree. Small island, go back where you come from. Now look, and in America, when West Indian people started coming, they couldn't hang out with their own islanders. They had to go to a church, and for the first time, people from all the islands learned each other, learned to live together, learned to work together, learned to plan together for the advancement of those from the West Indies.
You know, somebody was attacked in my grandmother's yard. I think I was about 7, and I couldn't defend a woman to the ability that a grown man would be able to defend them, but I knew in my heart I had to do something. So I went and straightened out a wire hanger, got one of my grandmother's hangers, straightened it all out, and wrapped it around my hand, and came back using it as a whip, and whipped on the guy, but it ended up penetrating his jaw. I don't know how that happened, but it penetrated his jaw, and I became so scared that I ran back in the house, ran through the house, and then ran under the house to hide, because I thought I was in trouble, you know. But later, my grandmother told me that, you know, that's what we're supposed to do. We gotta defend. When we see something out of whack, we gotta defend. Looking back, I knew that I was built to defend our people. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim wala dallin. Ameen.
Brother Chris no longer lives, man. You know, that name, Brother Chris, was given to me by my mom's, right? So I never liked the name, to be honest with you. But I carried and I honored my mom by using that name up until when she passed in 2005. After that, Khalil. Khalil Ali Muhammad. And my son carries that name, Khalil Ali Muhammad.
I was born here in Brooklyn, New York, Kings County, but I was raised, by Allah's permission, in Kingston, Jamaica. You know, we grew up poor. I didn't realize how poor we were. We were poor, brother. We were poor. I remember going to school with no shoes. I remember that. So this is like Trench Town, Jamaica. When you hear like Jamaica ghetto, yeah, we experienced that. We were poor. We had, like, I remember my mother had my school shoes made, like leather shoes made. So when you came from school, you took those off, and you put those inside, and you went about your business. We played. I mean, I was a soccer player back then. We played soccer barefooted. I remember kicking something on the ground and damn near ripping my toenail off. Poor. So, but nevertheless, in that poverty, I mean, I wouldn't trade that childhood for nothing. Oh shit, we had a poor man's meal. So a poor man's meal in Jamaica is a little different from a poor man's meal in America. I've heard of the mayonnaise sandwich. I never experienced that. I've heard of rice and butter. We did that. We used to do condensed milk, the sweet milk, and hardo bread. We had mackerel, canned mackerel, and rice. Like rice is the known filler, you know, rice and mackerel. rice and what we call bully beef, which is corned beef, stirred up with some onions. It's a meal. You know, chicken back. That's a poor man's meal. So we grew up, I would say, abject poverty. My grandmother had a mango tree in the yard, cherry tree, lime tree, coconut tree, another fruit called star apple. So we grew up eating fruits regularly. That's how you, like when you ain't no food, you eat fruits. I used to eat guava till I get sick. That's how much I love that fruit. But I ate it till I got sick. You know what I'm saying? I was a Jamaican. Patois is made up of the native language of Ghana or Senegal and English. Blacks are Jamaican. Jamaican is just the geographical landmass that we come from. My family, we grew up an offshoot of Roman Catholics called Anglicans. You know, the two predominant religious practices in Jamaica are Anglican or Seventh-day Adventist. I mean, I always believed in God because I always felt that there was something else powering me outside of my own self. That was a thought in my head. I didn't know how to articulate that at that time. I knew that there was something greater than myself that was powering me. You know, so I didn't know what to call that power other than just God. My eldest brother, he left home at a certain point and went to live in a Rastafarian camp. Like totally removed himself from society and was living what they call the Bobo Shanties. He was living in a Rasta camp. You know, eating only Ital food, living off the land only, no meat whatsoever, just totally removed from society. Me and my other brother that came up to New York together also grew dreads. But you know, that's a known, you know, everybody in Jamaica, they don't frown on dreads. And you see, it's part of the culture today. Nati. I left Jamaica 1980.
Despite the Reagan administration's war on drugs, it seems as though every week there's a new country, indeed a new U.S. ally, reportedly involved in shipping cocaine here.
Look, the guys who are being arrested, who are being shot down by the police, who are walking on the street corner with guns, they have no source of foreign exchange. They have no basis, no earnings on which to pay out hundreds, indeed thousands of Jamaican dollars to get a gun. Somebody is giving them that. Somebody is giving them that for a purpose, for a cause.
The ultimate cause in Jamaica is political power.
When I first came back to America, 5%ers ruled the streets. I don't care what neighborhood you're from. The 5% in terms of the youth, they had a grip on the youth in the 80s. I come from that culture. So, you know, whether you was Jamaican or not, we had Jamaican guards, Haitian guards, because the guards was like the thing to be in the 80s. The guards never looked like FOI. The guards always had a different kind of imprint. You know, I'm gonna give you a story of two brothers that lived on my block that kind of influenced me. One name was Trueborn and True God, right? Trueborn was a plumber who went to work every day, was making money, and True God was a stick-up kid. So that's two different realities that I came in contact with, just from my block. So now when we ventured out, the guards would drink, the guards would snort coke. Then you had some guards who upright, they don't smoke or drink, living out their lessons. You know what I'm saying? Respected their queen. Some beating their wife. So I can't measure all by some, and I can't measure some by all. I was just a brother, man, who wanted to learn his lessons, and I thought the language that was being used was attractive. You know, it's witty. You know, it's definitely New York. You know, because New Yorkers always had a little flavor.
and I heard Dr. Khaled, and I saw Dr. Khaled. He had a rally here in Harlem, and I was like, yo, them guys, I know they carry guns. Look how they move. They were different to me. Shiny, especially Khaled. Khaled was like jet black, just shiny, moving with command presence. So I was saying to myself, man, I know they carry guns. Yeah, I know they say they don't carry guns. I know they carry guns. The air that they walked around with was just like. So when I heard Khaled, I started following Khaled, and then I saw Khaled on 125th one day. I said, where you be meeting at? And he told me, oh, we were on Fifth Avenue. And he invited me out as a guest. Because Khaled made you feel special. He came over, he embraced me, you know, shook my hand, looked in my eye. So it made me wanna just be with him. So it didn't make a difference what I was thinking at the time. He made me so comfortable that I wanted to see him again. He was the minister, and Minister Conrad, it was like both of them were the minister. Conrad was the minister and Dr. Khaled. But then later, when I did start going to the mosque, Minister Conrad became the official minister of Mosque Number 7. That was 1990. Yeah, Mosque Number 7 was jumping, man. We had a different kind of air at that time. You know, yeah, the mosque was packed. I had been exposed to the 5%. I had been exposed to like the Zulu Nation. So my mom, she thought like, okay, you being in the nation, it's probably just another phase. But I knew then that this was what I was looking for. Because when I heard Minister Farrakhan, brother, it was like something being poured into an empty vessel, and the vessel was being filled. There was no contradiction. I never once disbelieved in what I heard. Never. It was never a thought. And when I heard Minister Farrakhan speak, I knew then this was it. That was the it I was looking for all my life, since I was 9. When I was 9, I was looking for God. Minister Farrakhan's father is from Jamaica. Minister Farrakhan's mother is from St. Kitts. So his parentage is from the islands, but Minister Farrakhan was born in New York. He's a New Yorker. Raised in Boston. There's a lot of Jamaicans in the mosque in New York. There's a lot of Haitians in the mosque in New York. We have some Latino in the mosque in New York. Trinidadians, Guyanese. So that's the makeup of New York, period. You know, I can tell you the people from St. Vincent, the people from Panama, the people from Jamaica, Haitians, Trinidadians, Guyanese, the Bahamas, Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic, Central America. See, all their dialects are different. But the people from Central America, they Latinos. Up, you mighty nation, you can accomplish what you will. That phrase right there speaks volumes. You know, once we recognize who we are and what we are, that will help us to fall in love with each other, and then we'll start to build a nation. Children who grew up in the nation have to accept their own and be themselves. I came and accepted. Right? This was not superimposed on me. I made a choice. They have to make a choice. Because that world is falling at a rapid rate. There's no future in this world. My children, from my daughter, Aaliyah, Khalil, Kasim, even my other son, Caleb, who is not from my loins, he came into my life when he was 3, you know, up until he was 13. Yeah, that's my greatest legacy, man. My children, I have great expectations for my children, that they would take whatever's been taught to them of good to actually take it further and build a black nation. Everybody else is building for themselves, but the black family. And we must build a nation that we could say, oh, yeah, that's my country right there. I'm a part of that nation. I'm afraid of Allah in the person of Master Muhammad. It's the only thing I'm afraid of.
I was trained by Captain Dennis, and I want to give an honorable shout out to Captain Dennis also. Always keep that man in our prayers. I keep him in my prayers, and I tell him that. So if this is seen on film anywhere, you know, he knows that I spoke to him this morning, as a matter of fact. But Captain Dennis, I will always respect and honor him because he, being unselfish, brought us around the minister. Minister Hafiz, may Allah be pleased with him. And formerly Minister Kevin.
How you can feel the shift is how the guitar is not only bouncing with the piano hand, it's agreeing with the rhythm that is being pushed out with the left hand or the bubble hand of the organ.
Jamaican politics must never degenerate into thuggishness. Politics is a means to an end, and the end should always be for the good of the island of Jamaica and all its people.
To the straight version, so you can feel that. That's straight. Here's where the experience becomes personal. Every guitar player or piano player, every musician has their own fingerprint that they bring to the instrument that they play. And how we do it as rhythm guitarists is through our fills and what we call slurs, which are little slides and things. And everybody's going to learn their own. You can't be me, I can't be you. So that's where that's where the fingerprint lies. That's where your difference. And you will learn this over as you go, okay? All right, here we go. Same progression, C minor to B flat, and check the swings, the slurs. 2, 3, 4. That's where the fingerprint lies. That's where your difference, and you will learn this over as you go, okay? All right, here we go. Same progression, C minor to B flat, and check the swings, the slurs. 2, 3, 4.